Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Al Mabala in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School Al Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Boshar is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022 to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.
MCs, please unmute and talk.
Security used to be an inconvenience sometimes. but now it is a necessity all the time. Quoted by Martina. Good morning, one and all. Let me take you all through the listings of what to expect in today's session. This is the third day of the Mega Career Guidance event, Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou, hosted by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. The welcome address will be followed by a brief introduction on our eminent speaker. Then we shall invite the esteemed speaker for his presentation. After the presentation, we shall request our guest to answer a few questions raised by the attendees in the question and answer segment. The continuing session will be taken up by the university spokesperson. The detailing of the courses available and the process of admission will be explained in detail. We shall conclude the session with a vote of thanks.
When you know that you're capable of dealing with whatever comes, you have the only security the world has to offer. By Harry Brown. What a fantastic quote to begin the session. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou, a global careers guidance program launched by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. On behalf of Indian School Bausha, I, Zeba of Class 9,
and I, Anuradha of Class 9 as well,
take the proud privilege of expressing our profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous and noble benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty bestow His choicest blessings on His Majesty, and may this nation experience peace and everlasting prosperity.
We are happy to welcome all the students, parents, and teachers for being a part of Avenir 2022, #DiscoverYou. Thank you one and all for your presence here this morning. It is with sheer joy and great pride that I take the task of introducing our speaker today, Ms. KHADEEJA Hasim, Cyber Technology Specialist at DARKTRACE. Our honorable guest, Ms. KHADEEJA Hasim, holds an amazing career history. BSc in Computer Science with specialization in Digital Forensics, American University in the Emirates, AUE, at Dubai, UAE. CGPA of 3.99 on 4.0. MSc in Cybersecurity, University of Kent, Canterbury, UK. Received international scholarship for Thought Masters. Graduated 2018 with distinction. Her achievements are as follows. Received international scholarship for Thought Masters. Graduated in 2018 with distinction. She is currently working as a cyber technology specialist for DARKTRACE. Her role is a mix of being a cybersecurity consultant, incident analyst, and technical guru. She also happens to be the first female cyber technology specialist for DARKTRACE in the Middle East region. We would like to request the audience to kindly post your queries in the question and answer box. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me and listen to our speaker, Ms. KHADEEJA Hasim, on her topic, cybersecurity. The platform is all yours, madam.
Thank you so much for that introduction. It's such an honor to be here and to get to present one of my favorite fields and my favorite topic to talk about. And if I get even one student interested in my field, I will be a very happy person at the end of the day. What I want to kind of cover in today's session is to just talk about IT and technology in general, the importance of cybersecurity, what you can expect from the fields of cybersecurity and forensics. And then we can talk about how education works in this region regarding those, and also what working in the Middle East is like in this region. I'll put in a few of my own experiences in this region as well, which I hope will be useful for students that want to pursue this avenue. I'll bring up a presentation medium now, if that's all right, just to provide a guide on the speaking points here. I'm hoping the screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Perfect, thank you. So what I want to start with is technology. We all know technology, right? We're seeing technology, it's everywhere. And it's had such an exponential growth in recent years, especially if you consider the last decade or so. You're seeing the latest smartphones that are coming out and the coolest new computers, the coolest new video games. All of that is technology. And you're seeing it not just in smartphones, right? You're seeing it being used in more everyday equipment as well. So you've got in cars, you're seeing it in refrigerators and microwaves, you're seeing it in vacuum cleaners. So it's kind of everywhere. But then it's also seen in more critical infrastructure as well, right? So your traffic lights, your waste management system, your power supplies, all of that is also utilizing technology. Now, let's consider a scenario, all right? So everyone knows how inconvenient it is when you're trying to send a WhatsApp message and your phone's battery runs out, right? You know that you then have to go charge your phone and then you can send the message. Now let's consider what happens if your phone gets stolen. Now, there are ways to prevent that, of course. You can keep your phone in your pocket, make sure you have location settings on so you can always track it, etc. Now, what happens if your phone is in your pocket, but someone is able to access it remotely and delete every single message you have and every single selfie you've ever taken on your phone? Now let's take it one step further, okay? Now, imagine if someone is able to access the traffic light infrastructure and shut down every single traffic light. Can you imagine rush hour traffic without traffic lights, the complete chaos that would cause, right? Or what about we consider a power plant? So someone is able to access this power plant, create this sudden surge of activity that causes an explosion. All of these scenarios that I've just mentioned have happened in real life. It's not just in the movies. Now, I'm not bringing this up to kind of scare people that these kind of things can happen. It's more to highlight the importance of protecting the technology. Yes, it's used everywhere. And the problem with that is that it can then be utilized in ways that it's not meant to be used, which is why we need to really focus on protecting it. What I want to then go into is specifically cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity is a very broad term. Okay, it's not just limited to protection. There's so many different measures that it can take. So cybersecurity isn't just basically protection measures to secure your device. And that's, I think, because technology itself is so varied. You have IT, of course, everyone knows that, that's information technology. It's all about data that you're seeing on your laptops, computers, everyday devices. But then you've also got something that's called operational technology. It's called OT. This would be the infrastructure that's used for automated processes. So consider a factory or a power plant, they would be using something called OT, or operational technology. Now, you can even consider, let's talk about emails, for example. I know everyone has received hundreds and thousands of spam emails that are coming through to your inbox. Yes, sometimes they go to junk, but in my case, at least, I still see tons of emails that I don't really want, but they're coming through to my inbox. And then, believe it or not, most of I would say the most common method of infection or the start of an attack actually comes from emails, whether that's a spam email or a phishing email, those kind of fake ones where it's like, hey, DHL is sending you a package, or hey, you need to reset your password. Those kind of emails are the most common form of infection. Or even, your mobile phone. Everyone complains that, hey, Apple keeps trying to get me to update my phone, but it's not just to give you more features, right? It's also to send across patches, security patches, to make sure that your device is as secure as possible. Now, apart from when I was studying cybersecurity, I also studied digital forensics. As the introduction stated, I did my BSc in computer science, where I specialized in digital forensics. Digital forensics back then, so I would say about 8 years ago or so, when I was trying to complete my high school and get into university, it was a field that was very new in this region. It wasn't something that was talked about a lot, but it was such an interesting topic when I finally started studying it. Digital forensics is a branch of cybersecurity and forensic science. It basically focuses on identifying, processing, and analyzing and reporting on data that is stored electronically. Now, what happens, so the idea is that you can apply it to identify if an attack happened, how that data was manipulated, what activity was done during the attack, and kind of provide or I would say collect or organize the evidence that would be needed to support law enforcement when they're trying to build their case. So it's very interesting because normally you see forensics. I know India has the TV show, which was the CID, and everyone in my family thought that's what I did. That also exists. The biological forensics is its whole other field. My grandfather thought that's what I did. But what I do is digital forensics. So rather than looking at whatever else happened at that crime scene, I would be going for the mobile phone or the laptop that's there to identify, who did this person talk to? What kind of information is there? Did someone get any information from the devices? And those were the things that I studied in school as well. So those were like my, I would say, school and university. So those were like my assignments, basically. I would be given a fake device, which I then had to retrieve information out of. The tools that you get to use for that, whether it's hardware or software, it's so fascinating when you're actually utilizing them. Now, that brings me to the education opportunities. So in my case, like I said, I did my BSc in computer science and with a specialization in forensics. I did this in Dubai. And like I said, it was a very new opportunity. I think at that time, there were maybe 2 universities in the whole region that did that. But I know that there's so many more that are offering this opportunity now. So there might be one that's even more convenient for you to be able to go to. And then apart from that, I ended up doing my master's in cybersecurity specifically. That was also an interesting process. I had to do a project at the end of it. So, you had to submit your thesis. I ended up doing my thesis by building a program that could map your wrist movement to identify what your PIN code was that you're entering into a machine, a credit card machine at a shop. That was really cool. It was also kind of scary because I had a 96% success rate at identifying PIN codes. The idea was to basically highlight a vulnerability in current security measures. So just FYI, if you're ever entering your PIN code, try and hide your hand any way you can. Now, I have a few tips that I can suggest. In my case, I know that there's a lot of universities that offer scholarships to a lot of international students, especially. So I found those very useful for me, not just because it kind of eased my process into university, but it helped out financially as well, which it can be very useful. I know going to university can be very daunting, so this kind of made things a lot easier for me. Apart from that, what I normally say is that you can use your bachelor's degree to get an idea of what your interests are. So when I started my bachelor's, I wasn't just focused entirely on cybersecurity and forensics. I also did cyber law. I did programming. I did web designing. And all of these kind of gave me an idea of, over the next 4 years when I'm studying all of this, which one is actually taking my interest? Which one do I really enjoy going to class for? And then that helped me decide what I wanted to do in my master's. Because then when you're spending this much time on your subjects or taking a specific path, you want to make sure that it's the right path for you. And then it's also completely fine if during higher education, you're realizing that that's not what your heart is in. It's perfectly fine to identify what you're really interested in and pursuing that specific field. So education can provide you all the different paths, but it's up to you where it leads you. In my case, it led me to working in the Middle East. I've been a working professional full-time for about 5 years now. I would say it's 8 years if you consider part-time as well, where I was working and studying at the same time. I've worked in a bunch of different fields. So this is just showing you how varied IT can be. I worked in the fashion and retail industry. I worked in e-commerce. I worked in television production and broadcast medium. I also worked for a large, so after I completed my degrees, I worked for a large multinational organization as tech support. And currently, I'm now working for a private cybersecurity firm, working as sort of a technical security consultant. All of these, what I can tell you, yes, it is a male-dominated field, IT, especially in this region, but I am a woman in this field as well. And I can tell you that there's been such a push, especially in the Middle East, to bring more women into this particular field. There's some countries that have actually initiated a law of equality to introduce at least 40% of women into the workforce, which I think is a great way of kind of anyone that's maybe scared that there would be a minority in the field. It's a very nice way of encouraging people that you don't have to worry too much about, will I fit in or will I be offered a job? You will, as long as you've got the will for it, it will happen. And then I know that this kind of brings in the quota thing and yeah, 40% workforce, etc. But women in tech are not just a quota, they're the advantage. They bring in a different avenue of thought. And when you get people that have different backgrounds, different experiences, when they have the communication, development just skyrises. You just know that you're going to get some really interesting conversations out of it. And you know that you'll be able to work so much better together as well. It just builds better teams when you've got a range of diverse opinions. So I'm just stopping the screen share, but I hope that this session has been really informative in terms of what the field is, how you can go about with the education, and also what working in this field is like. Thank you very much.
That was an extraordinary and inspiring session by you, ma'am. Your creative session enlightened us and kept each one of us engaged. Now, we would like to request our speaker, Ms. KHADEEJA Hasim, to kindly answer a few queries put forth by the audience. May I invite the moderator of the session, Ms. Asra Fatima, to pose some questions from the audience to you. Over to you, Asra, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ziba. Good morning, everyone, and special thanks to KHADEEJA ma'am for giving us insight into the cybersecurity. But there are many questions coming up your way, ma'am.
Happy to answer.
The first question is, what skills you feel are important for cybersecurity professionals? How skilled they need to be? Yeah.
All right, so skills are different. So technology, like I said, it grows and it changes so much. There's tons of certifications out there that are open for you that you're welcome to try. And then even the certifications, they're all varied as well. So you can pick and choose which ones are of interest to you. In my case, I've done networking, I've done cybersecurity specific certifications as well. I've also done some general ones, some like project management ones. The idea is when you're working in a field that's constantly changing and things are constantly happening, you need to keep yourself up to date with what's happening in the field. And you also need to be able to manage your time accordingly. You need to, when there's so many things that are happening, you need to be able to organize yourself. So in my case right now, I'm finding that being organized, being methodical, and maintaining time are some of the key transferable skills I have. Apart from that, anything that you can learn in tech, whether that's working in the field or from education, those will be very, very important for you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is, what are the major do's and don'ts when we keep passwords?
I get that a lot. One thing I will tell you is do not save them in a file called passwords.txt on your desktop. That is terrible. I see that almost all the time in my daily work where the reason someone got attacked was because someone stole a passwords.txt file. Do not keep it on a sticky note on your laptop, which I know my sister did once. Try and keep your passwords If you're storing them somewhere, use something like a password manager. Those exist even on your phone. They're password protected and they're encrypted. So even if you have to save your password somewhere, make sure it's secure. In terms of setting the password itself, what I normally, a lot of security professionals will tell you, think of a sentence, use the first letter from each word in the sentence, put in a number in the middle and a symbol. Gives you a nice, varied, completely random password, which isn't passwords or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or Apple. All of those are very easy to break. Keep it varied.
That was interesting. Next question is, ma'am, are there any physical threats to cybersecurity?
Definitely. So physical cybersecurity was something I came across in one of my roles, which was basically, how do you keep someone away from the physical devices themselves? So we had keypads on the door, we had biometric sensors as well, fingerprint scanners, key cards that are used as well. Even physically, we had locks. So you get cable locks for laptops and desktops, where you can actually keep them tied to the desk so that even if someone wanted to come in and physically take the laptop, they would not be able to. This was something we had to train a lot of people in my previous role, to just lock your laptop when you're at the desk.
I have one more question, that some tips from your side can you give how we can prevent ourselves from hackers?
There's a few different things. I think for personal use, making sure your phone and your laptops are always up to date. You know, when Google Chrome is telling you to update it. It's for a reason. Even personally, make sure you've got PIN code or password set on your mobile phone, on your iPads, on your tablets, etc. And then also, just in general, be careful where you're putting your information. Don't just randomly subscribe on websites. Don't randomly create an account. Anything where you are putting your personal information, just be sure that it's something that you trust and something that you've verified. Just be careful on the internet, basically.
A few more questions are there, ma'am, in our chat box. What are some common cyber attacks?
The most common one we're seeing now is ransomware. So ransomware is basically where someone gets into the computer and encrypts your files. This basically means if you try to open the file, it will tell you that it's been locked and that you need to pay a certain amount of money to get access to those files again. Now, whether or not you actually get access to your files after you paid, that's debatable. And what we're seeing now as well, not just stopping you from accessing the file, they steal the files and those can be then posted on the dark web or held hostage. If you assume something like an investment firm, if their data gets stolen and puts widely on the internet, it could really tank in terms of the stocks and the investments that they've got, how much information could get out in the public, and how devastating it could be for the organization as well. So ransomware is something that we're seeing very commonly in this region, especially.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Last question your way is, how do we understand that there is a risk and can we prevent it?
Of course, risk prevention is such a major thing, and it's something that the organization I'm working for is working towards as well. Identifying risks, I guess the easiest thing is, how can someone from the outside get access to me, to my devices, to my data? For private organizations, they have all of these tests that they run. So they do penetration testing, which is also a very interesting field, by the way. They do attack surface management as well. So identifying which of their devices are open, are external, and how they can then protect them. Normally, that's where I come in as a tech consultant to help you understand where those gaps are, how you can fix them. For personal use, it's easy enough because you know which devices are exactly under your control and you know how well you've done to protect them. Do you have a password? Are they always with you? Do you randomly leave your device on a countertop in a restaurant, etc.? Are you connecting to random free Wi-Fi in a mall as well? Those aren't always protected. So it's just on you in terms of personal, how well you know your devices, how well you know the security settings that you've done. Even if you want to double check, in all of the phones, you'll find a specific section for security. Go through that. It will give you all the different options that you can use to protect yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. That's it. And We are really thankful. Okay, you had given a great insight. Okay, and most of the questions, queries, what audience have put up, okay, I had brought in front of you and it's answered. I request our audience to kindly fill in the feedback Google form to receive the e-certificates. Thank you, ma'am, and over to you, MCs.
Thank you, ma'am, for all your support and guidance given to the large audience by attending to the concerns so patiently during the course of the discussion. It's time for us to move to the second part of the session.
Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Al Mabala in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School Al Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Bosher, is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources, guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022, to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.
It is time for us to move on to the next part of the session. The time to meet the university spokesperson, Mr. Prabhakaran Madhyaragan. Prabhakaran Madhyaragan, Assistant Director, International Relations of Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research. He has got master degree from India, and before he did his masters in United Kingdom, he has got nearly 10 years of experience in the field of international relations and traveled over 40 countries. During his professional career, he guided lots of students for international education and helped them to get place in different parts of the world. Though his educational background purely belongs to science, in particular in the field of forensics, he has been successfully handling the international activities for international studies and helping the students. We are joyous to welcome you, Mr. Prabhakaran Madhyaragan, to represent Sri Ramachandran Institute to enlighten us on the topic, MBBS, not the only option for science group of students. Over to you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Could you unmute us? Excuse me, sir. Could you unmute your mic? Yes, sir. Thank you. Could you speak, sir?
Thank you. Good afternoon, students. Once again, thanks for the introduction. I'm Prabhakaran Madhyaragan. I'm Assistant Director for International Relations, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research. I think if someone has come from Tamil Nadu to Oman, you would have heard of our university or in our hospital. We started Sri Ramachandra University started as a medical college in 1985. We have a rich legacy of working in this industry, especially the healthcare industry. We have a lot of global visibility. Our alumni are representing all over the world. We have a very good representation of collaborating with the foreign universities. In fact, we are the first university to have collaborated with the Harvard Medical University. That's one of the top three universities in the world for a medical education. So we have a huge, rich legacy in terms of collaboration and global reputation. So we started as a medical college at the age of 1985. We have, nearly 35 years plus, we've been in this industry. I think before we began the presentation, I would like to suggest only one thing. Whether you're going to study in India, you have to look for only one important thing, which is the NAAC certification, NAAC award. What is the NAAC? It's the National Accreditation Committee, which awards the university based on their performances, based on this reputation in this education field. They're awarding this degree. We've been awarded the A++, which is the highest grade you could ever achieve in this accreditation process. We've been continuously achieving this grade for the last 3 terms. Every 5 years, this grading process happens. The last 3 terms, the 15 years plus, we've been in this top category. So any university, whether you're coming to Ramachandra or going to join any other university, you have to look for what is your NAAC score. We are the grade 1 university. There are very, very good top universities, they can achieve this A++ category. And also, there is a grade 1, grade 2 or something like that. So you have to look for these 2 categories, grade 1 university or grade 2 university, whether they've achieved the A or A+, A++ or something. That's the maximum, they can achieve in this category. So this is the main thing, I would like to suggest to you students, if you're going to join any university, just look for what is that NAAC ranking. So we've been awarded the highest ranking, as I said before, A++. One more thing, as a student, when you're coming from a school environment, especially coming from abroad, you have to look for one more thing. Is the campus is offering a very good environment for me to study peacefully. It's a campus, is good campus. It's the campus, located for all the accesses. It's a campus, providing all the infrastructure. It's a campus providing all the diversity. All those things, you have to look for, when you're coming from the school environment. Though we are located in middle of Chennai, which is heart of Chennai, we call it, from our campus, it's just 20 minutes to the Chennai International Airport. Though we are located in middle of Chennai, we have a huge campus with 175 acres. Of this 175 acres, we have only 55 acres, we have the building. The remaining 100 plus acres, it's full of greeneries. That's why, we've been awarded the clean and hygienical green campus by the Minister of Human Resources and Development, Central Government of India. Recently, in 2020, we were awarded number 2 rank in the entire country. You could see, how clean the campus is, how greenery the campus is. So this is one of the things, I would like to highlight. Though we are located in the heart of Chennai, we have the wonderful greenery campus in the country. So let's move on to this topic. Today's topic is biology is not only, medicine is not the only option, or MBBS is not the only option for science group students. What else? So if you could look at this picture, you could see the biology is not only doctors. If you look at the picture, you can see the doctors are there, the physician, the surgeons are there. Apart from this, what all the other people? You can see the bioinformatician, you can see the pharmacist, you can see the nurses, you can see the physiotherapist, occupational therapist. Everyone has to involve, everyone has to have a stake in this healthcare industry. Without these people contribution each other, we can't run this industry at all. That's why, we are saying biology is not only the doctors. If you ask 10 students, the students who chosen biology as a major, 8 or 9 would say, what are you going to study in your future? They'll say doctor. If not doctor, maybe 1 or 2 would say dentistry. If not dentistry, majority of them, they don't have any clue. After the NEET results come out, after the ranking happen, after the counseling happen, they'll come to our university. What can I study? Can I have any other options? That's what, most of the students are coming to us in month of July, August. They're asking us, what shall I study? Does it have a good career opportunity? Does it have a higher education opportunity? These things, that just keep coming year after year, the students coming to our office and getting this information. So what we would like to suggest is there are plenty of other opportunities, but I'm going to suggest, very few important courses, not all the programs. Very important programs, the science students, the biology students, they can choose. So what we suggest through this picture is, if not doctors, there are plenty of other options available for you guys. Through this, you can be successful in your professional career and your educational career. Yeah, these are all the major faculties or departments, whatever, we can say. So the first one is the medicine. If not medicine, let's move on to the dental. If not dental, do we have any other choices at all? The students, they might have, some of them, have some choices. Apart from this, they don't have all these programs, all these faculties, all these courses detail. So there is a course called pharmacy. I think some of you might have aware about this program. Apart from pharmacy, the allied health sciences. Allied health sciences, what we call is, they are the engineers, they are the technical people of the medical industry. Medical industry used to be the medical professional or dentistry professional. The new allied health sciences have opened a lot of avenue for the students or the professionals who are interested in getting into the technical field of the healthcare industry. So under the allied health sciences, the university runs nearly 20 different programs. I'll highlight some important programs in the upcoming slides, but let's move on to this management. Even in the management itself, we run the program called hospital and health system management. Whether it's a bachelor or a master's, we run only this. We don't run this finance. We don't run this HR, marketing or something. We run only the hospital and health system management. How you can get into the healthcare industry and run. We need a people, right? We need a people to run this management industry. We can't just 100% depending on the doctors or a physician or a surgeons or even the dentist people to run this industry. Because the healthcare industry is one of the biggest industries in this country, biggest industries in the world. So we need a people who could run this management. nowadays, a lot of hospitals, they're appointing this, especially the corporate hospital, they're appointing the people who have studied management, hospital and health system management people. So you can start from your bachelor's itself if you would like to be in the management industry, especially in healthcare. You can choose Bachelor of Business Administration in hospital and healthcare management, and at your master's level also you can choose hospital and health system management. So the next move on to the public health. Another program, public health, so it's a traditional program. They are the one, always in collaboration or in tandem working with the medicine professional, because I would like to give you one example in the upcoming slide. They are the people, mainly contributed for the vaccine production, not only for vaccine production of this COVID era, for any public health has to be involved. These are all the qualification, they have to involve. Without these people contribution, even the healthcare industry or the new medicine development or new vaccine development even cannot be even functioning. So the next
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, can you please screen share? We are unable to see the screen, sir.
Really?
Yeah.
Now? It's okay now?
No, sir. Can you access the option screen share, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is I'm sorry, I think we missed the screen sharing. These are all the programs I was highlighting before: medicine, dental, pharmacy, allied health sciences, management, public health. And just move on to the engineering technology. This is a new program for our university. I think we've got nearly a first batch coming out just 4 years before we started. Even this engineering technology, we are running very specialized program, like how we can incorporate artificial intelligence in the field of medical, in the field of bioinformatics. So we have 4 programs coming under this category. If anybody would like to join from 23, they can choose this program. So maybe you can, if you could see our website, the list of 4 programs we are running under this category. You can apply, or you can look for in our website. The next one is a very important program: sports and exercise sciences. You can't jump into a conclusion because it's not a sports of activity side. It's a sports and exercise treatment. So we always say, the sports injury is different from each other. The football injury is different from the hockey injury. The hockey injury is different from a sprinter's injury. So what we need a huge infrastructure for the sports center. We built in collaboration, the sports center we built in collaboration with the Cape Town University of South Africa. That's why we are able to run this program. We admit only 60 students for this particular program. If anybody would like, because there are plenty of avenues after finishing this program. After finishing, you can get into a football club or a national team, or any state level or a national level, any type of clubs or national or state level things. You can get into this treatment side of sports injury. So this is a program for you. So it's a 4 years program. 1 year it's mandatory internship in our sports center itself. The sports center, we receive lot of sports athletes. They come for a treatment. Through this hands-on experience, you can become a sports therapy. Used to be the physiotherapy, they used to handle all the sports injury. But nowadays, we have exclusive people who are doing sports treatment or sports and exercise treatment if they have any injury. So the next one is the clinical research. I'm sure a lot of students, or maybe at least some students, they'll be interested, that students who've chosen biology as a major would like to become a researcher, would like to become a scientist. This is a program for you. It's a traditional 3-year program. In this one, we teach pretty much everything in your clinical research, whether it's a clinical trial or just medicinal trial, or a molecular biology trial, or a microbiology trial, or a forensics trial, genetics trial. We teach during this 3 years period, we teach everything based on your interest. At your final year, you can go for your master's. For example, if you want to become a researcher, if you want to become an analyst in the medicinal chemistry, you can choose your master's at the clinical research at PG level. So this is the program. This is actually the traditional program, but based on your interest, you can convert into it. It doesn't stop with your bachelor itself. Okay, because you wanted to become a scientist, you wanted to become a researcher, it doesn't stop with your bachelor level itself. At your master's level, you can specialize. At your PhD level, you can even more specialize, or you can narrow down your research. So that's a program for you. So another program, a lot of it's a very sought after programs from the Middle East or from the international student. It's a biomedical sciences. What is biomedical sciences? It's a 4 years honors degree. It's one of those advantageous programs for students, who would like to go for a master's in abroad, because it covers 4 areas: biotechnology, biomedical sciences, molecular biology, and genetics. 3 years, you study all 4. At your final year, you can specialize in. I think you'll be split into four different groups based on your interest. So if you would like to become a applied biomedical scientist at your 4th year, you can choose. After finishing this program, you can directly go for a master's in whether can be in US or can be in Canada, can be in Europe, because it's a 4 years program. You don't have to do 1 more year to make up your 4 years eligibility. Since it's a 4 years program, you can directly go for a master's at MS or to Canada or US or even Europe. So the next one is the physiotherapy. Of course, the physiotherapy and on top of it, the nursings are there. Without these 2 programs, the medical university or healthcare university cannot be functioning. So we have a limited number of 100 seats for both this category. So based on your interest, you can choose your bachelor's. At bachelor's level, we have 5 different specialization. Even nursing, even physiotherapy, there are a lot of opportunities at your specialization in abroad and in India, because especially the nursing is the only program we don't let our students get placed in other places, because we need nurses every year after year. Our hospital needs nurses, because the moment the nurses gain experience, they go to different countries, and then they're practicing as a practice nurses. So we try to keep them as many as possible. So this is the only program we don't let our students participate in the placement opportunities. So here is the program. In total, our university runs 152 programs. Out of 152, 148 programs, except the 4 engineering courses. All are related to the medical side or a healthcare side or biology related programs. If we look at the first one, I just mentioned there, the biomedical sciences. The next one is audiology and speech language pathology. What is audiology and speech language pathology? It's a council run program. We are admitting only 30 candidates. It used to be that the audiologists, the ENT, ear nose specialist doctors, they used to handle this speech language issues. Nowadays, there is a degree called Bachelor of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology. These students, when they come out as a graduate, they can look after it. We have a specialization at your master's level as well. If you want to become an audiology specialist, there is a MSc audiology. If you want to become a speech language pathology at your master's, there is a MSc speech language pathology. So what these people do, they involve in the ENT industry, ear, nose, throat specialist industry. So they are the one actually handling everything nowadays. The doctors, they just suggest something. The rest of the stuffs, will be taken care by the audiologists and speech language pathologists. So the next one is a pharmacy. Pharmacies, I think most of us are little bit aware about the pharmacy. The pharmacy industry is one of the biggest industries in this country. Again, we do admit only 100 seats. It's controlled or monitored by the council. We can't admit more than 1 single seat for a pharmacy. It's only 100 seats limited. If you'd like to become, or if you'd like to work in this pharmacy industry, the pharmacy is a program for you guys. The next one, apart from the medicine or dentistry, this is the only program you can come out as a doctor. The moment you finish your schooling, you join this program, you have to continuously study 6 years. Even the doctors themselves, they study 4 or 5.5 years. With this program, by the time you finish, it's going to be 6 years. After finishing these 6 years, you can come out as a doctor of pharmacy. Like a pharmacy, if you'd like to work in the pharmaceutical industry at the senior level immediately, straight after, you don't have to do masters, you don't have to do another PhD or something. If you'd like to become a senior position at the pharmaceutical industry, this is a program for you. The program is called Form D. Physiotherapy, of course, we are all aware about physiotherapies. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy, I'll explain you at the bottom. So these two programs in the next 10 years or 15 years, the most sought after or highly paid medical industry jobs in the next 15 years. If you look at the, if you search for a Google, which position in the healthcare industry is going to pay a big number of salaries in 10, 15 years time, these two programs will appear. Because especially the occupational therapy, it's one of those programs, it's a new one, I think 4 or 5 years before, we started this program. So they, apart from physical injury, all type of occupational injuries or autism or a genetical disorders, everything, will be treated by this occupational therapist. Okay. So one more program above, it's medical microbiology and applied molecular biology. As a medical university, we are able to run this program. Otherwise, you all would have heard microbiology course. You all would have heard molecular biology course. As a medical university, why can't we run this program as a honors degree with the 4 years? We decided we are running this program. It's a very successful program, especially the last 3 years after COVID era. A lot of students, they're joining this program because it's combined medical microbiology and applied molecular biology. We study bacteria, viruses, protozoa, everything in this program. So then above is the optometry. Optometry is ophthalmological related technical side of eye infection or a glasswares or a research. Everything, it covers in the optometry. The doctors, they just do only the surgery or just analyze the patient at the final stage. But even when you get into the ophthalmological issue, everything will be handled or tested by the optometrist. Even at the glassware making industry, the research, when the glass producing industry, they are taking these people. It's a very good, very specialized program. We admit only 30 students. So if anybody has any interest in the ophthalmological side of the health sciences, there's a program for you. I think I did mention in the previous slide about our hospital and health system management and sports and exercise sciences. Again, these two programs are new ones. It's not, every university you can find these two programs. Okay. So the bottom three, the bioinformatics, health informatics, and data sciences, normally these programs are focused in the computer side of it. But what, as a medical specialized university, what we are doing is how the patient record, how the health system record are incorporated into this healthcare industry, how this health patient record is incorporated into the hospital side. These are all the things in the health informatics and also the data sciences. These are all the areas we are covering in these 3 degrees. So if anybody would like to become a bioinformatician in the field of which covers the medicine side, this is a program for you guys. Okay. The next one is environmental health sciences. I think I was mentioning before, I will explain. I'll give you a small example of how this environmental health sciences people involved in this healthcare industry. During this COVID era, I think we all would have been eagerly waiting when the vaccine would come out. Before the first trial completed, there were a group of people, to be tested. Actually, do you guys know who actually decides those numbers? The environmental health sciences people, the public health people, actually deciding the numbers. From 10 to 20, 500 people to be tested. 20 to 30, 1,500 people to be tested. Who are actually deciding? It's not the doctors, it's not the surgeons, actually deciding this number. It's actually decided by the public health people. That's why, I did mention before, the public health people always working in tandem with the physician and surgeons. Okay, for any kind of new medicine or a new vaccines, these people have to give you the numbers because the public health people always been working with the society. This is a program for you. So even though I mentioned BSc Honors Environmental Health Sciences, we also have BSc Public Health. These two programs. If anybody would like to be involved in the environmental side, this is a program. If anybody would like to be in the medicine side or a healthcare side, public health is a program for you. Applied psychology, clinical research, and medical radiology and imaging technology. 3 programs at the bottom. The only one program, we are directly taking the students from schooling level to the master's level. What is the program? MSc, Medical Radiology and Imaging Technology. The radiologists are the highest paid doctors in the country. So the radiologists nowadays, they're just finally giving the report or finally signing off the report, the MD radiologists. But the MSc medical radiologists and imaging technologies in the X-rays and MRIs and CT scans and everything, these technological people, they are the one actually doing everything. Getting the patient, going through the machines, producing the report, everything is done by the medical radiologists and imaging technologists. So we have a separate programs for medical radiology and imaging technology as of 4 years. And then in a couple of years, you have to do for your master's. But this only one program, you can directly join from your school stage to MSc. But above this clinical research I mentioned before, and above the applied psychology, this is the only program or thing in the hospital health system management, the applied psychology are the two programs, sorry. These two programs, we are taking all group students. It could be a commerce student, it could be a science students, it could be a physics, chemistry, math students, whatever. We are taking for this particular program. Used to be only the biology students because it's applied psychology. At your master's level, you can do applied psychology or medical psychology. But at your bachelor's level, any background students, they can join this program. I think psychology, I don't have to tell much about psychology. If anybody has interest in psychology side, it's a program for you. I always suggest, whenever the students are interested in healthcare courses or biological related programs, they should choose the university which has a good hospital, which has a good reputation of receiving good number of patients. Whether you're coming to Ramachandra University or Ramachandra College, it's your choice. At the same time, if you're going to other university or even other country, you have to look for the biology programs if they have a good hospital. If you're joining a nurse courses, if you're joining a physiotherapy course, if you're joining a occupational therapy courses, you have to have a patience to work on. You have to have hands-on experience. If you teach, for example, radiology, if you teach everything through the chalk and board, without actually doing those tests with the real patients, you wouldn't learn much. Same with the dialysis, same with the laboratory technology. You have to have a hands-on experience. You have to work with the patient sample. You have to work the X-rays and MRIs and CT scans with the patients. Without those hands-on experience, you can't become a good radiologist. You can't become a good imaging technologist. You can't become a good laboratory technologist. So in our hospital, in our university, we have two huge hospitals inside the university located. One is a teaching hospital. In this one, we have 1,600 beds, which is one of the biggest ICU in South India. Because it has a 23 state-of-the-art operation theaters. In total, we do 150 operations per day. It could be orthopedic issue. It could be a oncological issue. It could be a it could be maybe the gynecological issue, or it could be anything. In total, we do 150 operations per day. In total, we receive 5,000 inpatients every single day. So you can imagine, on top of this, we have one more hospitals located inside the campus. That's a corporate hospital. That's the high end of diseases like maybe oncology, maybe plastics, regenerative surgery, plastic regenerative treatments. So we do all these kind of treatments in this corporate hospital because it's paid by the patients. The previous one, the teaching hospital, it's almost a free hospital. So here, we receive another 800 patients every day. In total, we receive almost 6,000 to 7,000 patients every single day. This is where we are able to run all these kind of 148 biological or health sciences related programs. Without these programs, without this two hospitals patient strength, the nurses cannot be given a hands-on experience. The physiotherapist, cannot be given a hands-on experience. We need orthopedic patients for the physiotherapist to work on. Without this, if we teach everything over the board, they won't be able to learn anything. That's why, I keep saying I would always suggest the students who are looking from your school stage to the university level, choosing the biology related or health science related programs, go to the university, which has a good hospital, good strength of patient record. So what special we do offer for our students, the students who have joined in university, what they've been enjoying, the study abroad opportunities. When you are students of Ramachandra, you can go to abroad and do 1 semester, whether it could be a taught modules, it could be an internship, it could be a final year project. You can earn those credits. Those credits, can be translated in your transcript. You come back and do your viva, you come back, do your credits, and then, it will be incorporated into your Ramchandra degree. So this is one of those highlighting of prestigious opportunities, we are providing for our students. And also for the internships in abroad. Internship, finally, most of the programs, you have internships, some mandatory internship in our hospital. Apart from this, most of the courses, you have to have an internship. This internship, you can do the industries domestically in India, or you can do abroad without partner universities. So maybe you can do the partner companies, whether it could be in India or in abroad. These things, we offer special for our students. One more thing, it's we are very proud of our placement cell, because normally the engineering specialized university, they have this placement cell. A healthcare specialized university or a biological science focused universities, they won't have a placement cell active in most of the colleges or universities. We are very proud to have a placement cell even for a biology students, because it's most of them are research based or higher education based. But we have a placement cell. We place our students even before they graduate. For a 4 years program, we place them in the 3rd year itself. For a 3 years program, we place them in the 2nd year itself. So that's one of the highlighting features in our university. And one more thing, as a biology student, as a first group student, you have to look for what is the students teachers ratio. It has to be as minimum as possible. It's not like the arts programs or engineering programs, 100 students in one classes, they'll teach everything over the board, or they'll teach everything with one machine. You all observe, and then you go for your exams. This particular programs, you have to have a close interaction. For example, physiotherapy with maybe maximum, one professor and 5-6 students. So an average, we have for every 7 students, 1 professor. Okay, that's our ratio, 7:1. I think I mentioned about the internship abroad, international conference opportunity. At this bachelor's level itself, this is again, very important features in our university. At the bachelor's level itself, we are providing this opportunity for our students, because, at your research level, maybe at your PG level, some universities, some colleges, they ask you to write the paper, they ask you to present at this domestic level, maybe at the conference, international conferences, very few universities they may do. But what we do is, we encourage our students to prepare for your researches or prepare for the conferences at the bachelor's level itself. So they will have a confidence whenever they go for a master's or a PhD level, they can go there and present the paper at any environment. So that's an environment, we are that's opportunity we are creating at the bachelor's level itself. One more thing, the collaborative projects and opportunities in abroad. We have tied up with a lot of good universities in abroad. So our students, they always work in tandem with those students, and then, do some collaborative projects. I'd like to give you only one example here. In 2020, early 2020, when the COVID started, Harvard University and our biomedical sciences students, they joined together and did a project. They won the global level 2nd prize. So this is the kind of, the important opportunities we are creating, we are providing for our students. So this is one more thing, the students will be always asking, do you have a hostel inside your campus? Yes, we have a special features along with, the hostel inside the campus. We have individual room, whether you can choose AC or non-AC, both are located inside the campus. At the same time, you don't have to share with anyone else. It's an individual one. Don't have to share with anyone, because, we have to create the environment for the students, peace of mind, and prepare for their exam, study well, and then, relaxly, they can speak to the parents, they can go over the phone. They have to have a relaxed environment. That's why, every room, it's an individual one. Apart from this, the campus has gyms, the yoga centers, and even small dedicated room for prayers and everything. So even small government shops, beauty parlor located in the campus itself. But these are all in addition with the accommodation is being located inside the campus. So one more thing, the university has to have a good alumni record. because the alumni, they are the one actually helping the current students or the existing students to get placed, to give them a very good context. So that's why, they'll be able to connect with the, whether it could be a domestic or in India, in the different states, it could be in abroad, could be in Middle East, they get connected. They get, for example, I wanted to go for a master's in Harvard. There are a lot of our students, they're already working in Harvard. I want to go to John Hopkins. There are a lot of students, they're already working at the professor's level in John Hopkins. They are all connected with our alumni cell. Before registering with alumni cell or before clearing with your alumni cell, you can't even graduate. You have to register. Maybe it's not needed or it's not required at the moment at your bachelor's level, third year, fourth year. But when you go for a job, when you're looking for your projects, you need those connections. So our alumni, they are located all over the world. They're helping our students left, right, and center. But whatever or whenever you need a help, even when you arrive in a different country or a new country, in Spain, you don't even know the language, Spain, France, or Italy, wherever, you arrive there, you don't have anyone to look after you, you don't have anyone to help you. You can just ring up our alumni cell, they'll get connected with your seniors. Maybe the seniors could be very, super seniors or long-term seniors, but, they'll help you to get settled in those particular thing, or maybe help you to get placed in those country. So our alumni cell, it's one of our proudest departments in our university. So these are all our notable alumni. I think the first one is Shamsher. He's the chairman of healthcare group in Middle East as well. He's actually a radiology student in our university. There are the people from all over the world we mentioned there: US, Canada, UK. The current governor of Pondicherry, she was our alumni as well. So these are all some notable people, we mentioned there. That's it, students. If you have any doubts, any questions, please ask me.
Thank you very much for the informative session, sir. And we are sure that the process of exploring and inquiring has begun in the minds of the students and the parents. May I invite the moderator of the session, Ms. Asra Fatma, to pose some questions from the audience to you. I'm sure there is bound to be a few questions. Let us take up one or two of them. Over to you, Asra, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. It was really a very informative session. We got a great insight, about the university and the courses provided. I have few questions in the chat box, not few, many. Our MC said 2, but it's little more than that, sir. Okay. So the first question what I have with me is from the viewers. As mentioned that there are about 152 programs provided by the university. Is it worth applying for more than one course?
Yeah, of course, they can apply for more than one programs, but for every programs, if they are eligible, we'll be giving them provisional admission letter. By the time, they have to have one selection. They can apply for as many number of programs they wish. When they decide, which program they need an admission letter, because, if you're eligible, you can be given an admission letter for all the programs. So you need to narrow down or finalize your choice by the time, you receive your offer letter.
Oh, thank you, sir. Next question is, if I do not achieve the required grades, will I be getting admission in the university?
Sorry?
If I do not meet the requirements in the past, achieving in grades, yeah. So, sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. If I do not achieve the required grades, will I be getting admission in the university?
Any university in the world, without achieving your eligibility criteria, you won't be able to have admission. But the criteria varies between the universities. Not our criteria. It's a criteria set by the Medical Council of India from medicine programs to all the cascades through all the programs. Just 55% in physics, chemistry, biology. It's not a huge 90% or a 95% we require. It's a 55% in your physics, chemistry, biology. Yeah.
All right, sir. Next question is, can the students work part-time?
They do. Yeah, they can. Yeah. Even some of our students even worked in the film industry, because that's where they got a job. So you can work in wherever the industry you wish. But I mean, bear one thing in their mind. In India, it's highly intensive compared to Western side. It's 8 to 4, the classes. Of course, the weekend you will have a time, but you can work in weekends or maybe in the evening time if you wish. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Another question is, what is the scope for earning in physiotherapy abroad in foreign countries?
Yeah, that's one of those programs. Not only in abroad, you have a plenty of opportunities. That's even if you're looking for a government jobs, every hospital has to have a physiotherapist. In this country, in abroad, this is one of the 2 programs I think I mentioned there: physiotherapist and occupational therapist. If you look for the biological sciences program or health sciences opportunities in the next 15 years, highest paid in the next 15 years, 20 years, these programs will appear for you. Because you don't need a separate license, it's a professional program. So you don't need a separate license. The moment you finish this program, you'll be given a license. That license is valid all over the world. Students, if they provided, the students studied this program in a reputed or accredited university or college. So if you'd like to practice the physiotherapist in US, you can go there and register with your register certificate from India, from Ramachandra. Just go there and register and start practicing because it's a professional program.
Okay, thank you, sir. The last question for the day is, any extra support will be provided from the university side in the form of tuitions to the students or remedials?
Actually, we have a special scholarship for the students. It's just a merit scholarship. If you're a good student achieving, normally they do ask these questions, sir, I'm a good student. There are students from Middle East or any country, they come from abroad. We have a huge difference in terms of marks. So will I be different from this particular student? Always, we provide the merit-based scholarship to all the students, whether you're an international student or NRI student or a domestic students, to achieve good marks in your class level, given a scholarship as well. Yeah.
All right, that's it, sir. Thank you so much. I request the audience to kindly fill in the feedback back form posted in the chat box to get the e-certificates. Over to you, MCs.
Thank you very much for the insightful answers, sir. We have many queries, and yes, the students can access the mobile app and all the questions will be directly addressed. Over to you, Zeba.
As we draw the end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Ms. KHADEEJA Hassim, for all her words of motivation. Thank you, ma'am. We express our gratitude for the spokesperson, Mr. Prabhakaran of the Sri Ramachandra Institute, for sharing us details and giving us an overview of the career guidance. Thank you, sir. A deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Chairman Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam and the members of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. A heartfelt thanks to the President, Mr. Ajayan Poyara, and members of the Indian School Boshers School Management Committee and the Principal of the school, Dr. Bhavesh Balirao. We request the participants to kindly fill in the feedback form posted on the chat box window. We request a video of our valued sponsors and heartfelt thanks to our platinum sponsor, Jain deemed to be University, gold sponsors, De Montfort University, silver sponsors, Dallas Baptist University USA, Grey Matters, SP Jain School of Global Management, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, and bronze sponsors, Middle East College, SP Jain School of Global Management. Digital marketing partner, Spectrum and Trifoil. Media partner, The Arabian Stories and valued donors. And are powered by and support sponsors. Over to the video.
An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. Thank you to the ISB's Avenir team for making Avenir 2022 possible. Thank you, teachers, students, and parents for being a part of the session.
Find out what you like doing best and get someone to pay you for doing it. With these uplifting words, I, Zeba,
And I, Anuradha,
wish you a glorious day ahead. Before we sign off, let me remind you of the upcoming sessions. The upcoming online sessions for science, engineering, and humanities will begin from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube and Zoom. A gentle reminder to all to fill the feedback form provided in the chat window. Every attendee who submits a feedback form will receive a digital certificate. See you in the next session. Stay tuned and stay safe.